is. It's just piss poor production. I mean,
Just shoddy.
I'm a terrible productionist. Hello and welcome to the Master of Unlocking podcast. I am the terrible production person, Logan. To my left over there, which is actually, I don't even know if you're my left or my right. This is my left. Yes, this is my left. Is Caleb, who is not drinking
Camera one.
tonight.
Not.
I show up with beverage. Yes, it's a Mike's Black Cherry. Feel free to make fun of it, but it is delicious.
Those are delicious.
Tried
Agreed.
to, the guy was drinking alone every week, so I decided to be nice, and then he shows up and makes me drink alone tonight. So Jason, down below, go get yourself a bevy. I don't know, you probably got a water or something. He's representing his own brand, Jason's Deli, full of
water in there.
Yeah,
Very
well,
good.
you should have
I'm
some
still
water in there.
recovering from the salty cascade of 3 cheeses and giant Texas toast I had for lunch. My God.
Yeah, we had some gourmet grilled cheese for lunch after
Ooh.
a grueling one-on-one matchup for the day. We decided to play some one-on-one this morning. They were all close games. He took it from me though. Took the series 3-1.
I don't remember. Such
3
a long time ago.
I know it
I don't remember it.
was like 7 hours ago. But they're all competitive games. That's all that matters. We only lost 1 ball in my neighbor's yard, who will now sue me for property damage. But that's another that's a story for another day.
The games were definitely more competitive than what Toronto did tonight. I mean, was the end of that game score? They lost by like 50. I mean,
It was.
what's going on,
I think it's still going, isn't it?
it just finished up.
It just
See
started.
Doc Rivers? That's Doc
There's
Rivers.
Doc. Hi,
Oh,
Doc.
there we go. Okay.
That's Doc. So yeah, we're
that must be over.
tipping game 2. Yeah, it is over.
I turned it off when it was still a 20-point game at the end of the third. And I was like, I got better things to do with my life, like play Spiritfarer.
You like Spiritfarer?
I like that game more and more every day. I really keep playing. I probably played today I pretty much played for about 3 hours straight this afternoon. The kids were all outside playing at a friend's house, and so I played from about 2 to 5. And then once that game became out of reach, I turned it on at about 7 and played for another 45 minutes or so. So yeah, I played about 4 hours today.
Nice.
Do you think
You're
you're
getting close.
Yeah, what is your percentage complete, you think?
The only way to really tell is by the amount of characters that you're bringing on. I believe there are 11 characters in total. I have only sent 3, because you send them through the Everdoor Beyond. But I have a lot of them that are on their last set of errands essentially to run, and I'm keeping some of them around because some of them will give you things. So as long as they're happy, if you keep them fed and you keep them happy, they will give you resources. So if you send them to the Everdoor, then they are no longer going to give you resources. So I'm kind of just holding on to some of those. Especially the guy who cuts lumber for me, because it's pretty invaluable just to kind of have a guy who's always cutting wood. So
You gotta have a wood guy.
yeah, and then there's another one that she'll go and just find me random mining resources. She'll be like, I'll see her on the boat, and she'll be like, oh hey, I got something for you, and she'll just hand you like a bunch of ores. It's like, oh hey, thanks. So I'm trying to just keep some of them around right now, and then another one just gives me gifts. I really like this character. His name's Giovanni, and he's a player. So he's constantly wooing women, but one of his wife is actually on the boat with you, and you actually catch him cheating on her like around other towns. But I'm keeping him around because he keeps giving me all this random jewelry that I can sell for coins. But I'm like, I really don't want to let him go.
Are you a bad guy? Does that make you a bad guy?
I think it
You're an
does.
accessory.
I know. And the other guy who keeps cutting wood for me, all he wants is fried chicken. That's his last thing he wants. He just wants a bucket of fried chicken.
That's his last meal.
And he constantly, he'll just be like, hey, Sprout. I'm like, yeah, what's up? He's like, I really would like that fried chicken. And I'm like, yeah, well, you keep giving me all these oak planks to make stuff with.
Please tell me that you just have the fried chicken in your inventory and you're just refusing to give it to him.
So oddly enough, I don't have it. Which thing is he's one of the first characters you get, and I still have yet to get the thing to make oil out of. Like I'm really close to making it. I just got a new character, which the new character is also great. It's a bull, like he's a giant bull, but there's a hummingbird that
Like a bull?
yeah, like Chicago bull horns and everything else.
Oh,
Oh no! I thought you meant the backup center for the Nuggets. Sorry,
No, not
excuse me.
not Bull.
No,
Sorry,
not
yes,
bull.
not 7'7"
Okay.
Bull.
Oh,
I
okay.
thought I thought you were gonna smoke this thing.
Yeah, well, there's
Like
just too
that
many
kind of bull.
bulls.
We're all over the place.
We are. No, he's a cow bull. So yeah, all your characters are animals, by the way. I forgot to kind of mention that. But so he's a bull, but he doesn't talk. He has a hummingbird that hangs out with him, and he just acts like a tough mob boss the whole time. And he'll just like
With a hummingbird.
with a hummingbird, and the
Hard.
hummingbird will just like he'll like pop down to his nose, and like he'll get up real close to you and talk to you with his little hummingbird beak, and he talks a lot of shit because he's got this giant bull with him who can cause a ruckus, but he's just this tiny little hummingbird that. But yeah, he essentially is like a New York mobster from the '80s. Like it's pretty funny, like his character. And then the bull cannot climb ladders, so the hummingbird has a strap on his back, and the hummingbird flies and carries the bull everywhere because a tiny little hummingbird can carry like the hummingbird is this big on the screen, and the bull is that big, but yet it's just there he goes, he's flying, carrying the bull around. Like this is real dumb. And but yeah, like all the characters in the towns you go visit. There was a rap group I met today. Like this game gets all kinds of wacky with just the weird people that you meet and stuff. It's the I would say that the first 8 hours or so is pretty serious, and then all of a sudden you like once you kind of get past the rock breaking section, because there's an ice breaking section of the map that you have to do, and then once you get to the rock breaking section, shit just starts going like the characters just start getting real outlandish, and it's like what happened to the tone of this game? I like it, but it went from being super serious to just having a little bit more fun. So I have a feeling that I'm going to get to the point where it's going to flip back to serious again here soon, because I think there's 11 characters total. I have 9 of the 11, if that makes sense. So I have to find 2 more of the spirits, and each one of the spirits, if you really push through to try to get them done, depending on what resources you need, you can knock a spirit out in probably 2 to 3 hours. But you're constantly managing other spirits that you're working with, because you're like, oh, you got to go over here and get this thing, and over here and get this thing, and then there was one of them. I mean, you might be like this, the guy who wants the fried chicken. He's been wanting fried chicken for probably since hour 2 of the game for me. Sorry, guy, I just can't get you any fried chicken because I don't know. I can't find oil to cook your
You
chicken
can't just swing your ship through Popeyes for him real quick or
in. I know,
something.
like
Come on,
just
man.
swing the boat by. Yeah, it's because I showed Jason my boat today. That boat is now probably 40% bigger than what it was when you saw it this morning. It's just stacks upon stacks of houses and sheep corrals and orchards and everything else thrown into it. So it's navigating that boat now is kind of a little cumbersome just because there's so much stuff there.
Caleb, have you played Spiritfarer yet?
I have not yet. Nope.
I played it
Have
for
you?
about 20 minutes this
Okay.
afternoon. I've got some questions.
Okay.
So, it seems like at the beginning of the game, you're replacing the Grim Reaper.
Charon is actually the name. Essentially, you are, depending on which section,
Charon, whatever
right?
he is.
Depending on which
like,
portion of mythology in the Bible you want to kind of go through. I think Charon was
That's the
essentially
Greek one.
Greek, I
right?
think, right? And I think you
Yeah.
essentially, like, that person carries people on a boat through the river Styx to the afterlife. And whether they end up going to the good or bad afterlife is essentially, I think in that mythology is depending. But if I remember right, the river Styx, there's like creepy hands coming up out of the red water and everything else, which picture is depicting it. But this one is just, you're in a nice little canoe with red water when you get to the Ever Door is what it's called in this game. But yeah, that is.
He
Mm,
Charon, whatever it is, Charon,
yeah.
is like, well, I've had this job for a long time, but you're here now, so I'm gonna
I was
go.
just kind of like, well, you're
Um,
here, so you just want to do
it's
this now?
it's like he's like, I bet you have questions, and you're like, no, I'm fine. I'll just do this. It's fine.
And
I got my cat. It's fine. We're fine. Everything's
and
fine.
your cat can also, kind of has the power of the Spiritfarer with you, which is kind of weird.
So it makes it so Caleb, he's got like this big, and it's like the first minute of the game, so it's not a huge spoiler. He's got this giant hood. He's on this boat like that is the size of him, but he's humongous. He's got the sickle, and it looks like giant Grim Reaper, except without the skull. It's just the hood, and there's like a cross. It's not like a crucifix necessarily, but just kind of like a plus that's glowing in the hood, and that's it. And your cat runs in to the hood, and he goes, "Oh, how inappropriate!" And then the cat rolls out, and it's got the, what do you call the orb thing that he has?
Uh, is it an obol?
I can't
I don't remember what
remember,
it's
but
called
it's
either.
what
Yeah.
gives you the ability to be the Spiritfarer.
Mm-hmm.
So your cat just rolls into his hood, and he's like, what are you doing?" And then he rolls out with it. He's like, "All right, see you later." And he goes through the Ever Door, and then you're
now the Spiritfarer.
you're the Spiritfarer / Grim Reaper / whatever kind of. Maybe he takes a different form at a different time, but
You know what?
it's kind of a neat, like, oh, I know what that that what's the word for, what's the, like, a whatever the illustrative term would be for the Reaper. Like, I know what that iconic thing means,
Mm-hmm.
and now I have his job. So it
Mm.
kind of tells you right away, like, you are the person that is bringing people from life to death right away.
Right.
You know, that's kind of good to hear that you just go straight into it, because that's been kind of a common theme this year of really slow starts to games. I feel like.
Yeah, and you
So
get pretty
for them
much
to just like completely ignore that and just go straight into the well, not action, but straight into the game is good to hear.
Yeah, it's pretty much like what, 5 to 10 minutes of just like, okay, well, this is what you're doing now.
He
Like,
wants to be like, look, I know this is a lot, and you're just like, I'm good. All right, fine. And then it happens again with the equivalent of the Luchador. That's the first
the Luchador
character
is
you
the first
meet
character,
on
yeah.
the boat. He's like, look, I know this is a lot, and you're just like, no, I'm good. What am I supposed to do?
Like,
He's just
what would
so
you like me
matter
to
of
do for
fact.
you? Like, okay, sure,
Yeah,
yeah, we can
no,
do this.
I'm fine. Yeah, no, this is where I sleep. We'll figure it out. I'll go over here.
Yeah, your character is pretty much the like most easygoing person on the face of the earth. You never have any sort of conflict with anyone. You're just there to deal with everybody else. Like
I
you
could
don't
deal with
even
that.
talk back. You don't even talk back to people.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I mean. They're like, this is a big job. Are you up for it? You don't even. I guess I'm fine. Like, do you ever, Logan? Do you feel like,
Mhm.
and you don't have to answer this, you gotta answer this quickly, but where does, and I'm forgetting the main character's name. I'm sorry.
Stella,
Where does Stella come from?
you don't
Do
know.
you know the origin of Stella?
I feel like there's so after the first person that you take through the Everdor, there's a weird thing that happens after that, and there's essentially you start to find out some backstory, but it's very vague. So I thought, oh, after every person you put through the Everdor, you're going to get some more backstory. Yeah, the last two I've put through there haven't had anything different. Like it's just been, yep, here they are. They're going through the Everdor, and I will say the music that you'd put when you put them through the Everdor, real
Oh,
solid
really?
stuff. I mean, the music to that game is just very well done to begin with, and they take the kind of the main theme and they really bulk it up with a lot of orchestra stuff for when you put somebody through the Everdor, and it's like, yeah, that's real solid work right there. Because otherwise, it's very just like just kind of you're going with the flow with things most of the day, and but like all the little I don't know if I call them like they're events, essentially like little mini game events. Not the stuff of like doing the jobs on the boat, but the events of like you're gonna at some point you're gonna have to go capture lightning, and you're gonna have to go capture these floating jellyfish things, and meteor showers, and there's all of those type of events. The music to those is really well done, and stylistically, uh, it's for what it is for a 2D platformer. That's what's keeping me in that game. I think probably more than anything is the style and just the overall vibe of that game is just very much. And the thing is I think the vibe of that game is probably actually to pick it up, play it for like an hour, and put it down. But I just can't seem to put it down. So
I'm
Speaking
excited to
of
play more of it.
speaking of style, there's a game I've been playing that has a really really cool style. I think
what's up?
it's called Paradise Killer.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, so I hadn't either before like 2 days ago. I saw a bunch of tweets about it, so I'm like, oh, I'll check that out. It's really cool. It's really really cool. It is a detective game where you play. So the story is it's kind of bizarre, and I don't know if I fully understand it or not yet. But basically, at some point, gods came to the earth, and they gave humanity all this awesome technology. So humans used that technology. They lived side by side by the gods. But then demons started coming to the earth and actually killed the gods.
Damn
So
demons.
humans, yeah. So the humans uh, tried to make these like utopia type places where they would resurrect the gods. But every time they try it, something bad happens that usually involves the demons. So the demons will corrupt somebody and then something bad will happen. So they have to restart this process over and over again. And they're on like the 25th try or something like that. I don't remember the exact number. But this is one of the attempts. And you're actually, you play as one of a detective on this, in this place. And you were actually the cause of one of the downfalls of like one of the teen number of the paradises they were trying to make. So you actually like somehow, it doesn't really say specifically, but you somehow like let a demon interrupt the pattern. So you were exiled. So you've been exiled for like thousands of years, but
Okay.
they need you because you're the only detective. So in this paradise that they've made, uh, somehow the like council or whatever has been murdered from. It's like a locked room mystery. They were all in one locked room together. No one was allowed in, but somehow they were all murdered. So you've been called out of exile to go find out what happened. And the really cool part about this game is it's like completely open. So you're on this big island, and you can go wherever you want. It's all 3D, and you just walk around the island wherever you want to go, and you follow up on whatever leads you have. So and you can do them in whatever order you want. So like for instance, they said that there was a guy that went missing somehow, and you're not really sure how. So I was like, okay, that might be a good place to start. Guy went missing. Maybe this has something to do with it. So the first thing I did was go to his workshop and start looking for clues. But you can go anywhere. You can try to go to the place where the council got murdered. You can go around the city, whichever lead you want to follow up first. And then at any time, you can go to the judge and try to explain what you think happened on the island. And it even gave me that option, like at the very, very beginning of the game. He's like, "Okay, do you think you know what happened? Because you can try to explain it to me right now." And I'm like, I just started this."
Paradise, what is this called again?
Paradise Killer.
Paradise Killer. I'm trying to like look it up. I just want to see some images here to see like kind of what it.
GameSpot gave it a 9.
Yeah, it's got a really cool look to it too. I'm liking the look a lot.
So is it more of a graphic novel type game?
A little bit, but you're moving around in a 3D space to get to the areas, and like you're picking up clues and stuff as you go around.
I
But
assume
there
this
is
is
a lot of
PC
text.
only.
When you interact with a
Um, I,
character, is it these?
It's I think it's on, to answer your question, Logan, I think it's on Switch as well. I'm not completely sure about that.
Yes, it is on the
But
Switch.
Yeah, Switch and PC.
Yeah. Sorry, Jason, what did you ask?
When you interact with the characters, is it kind of like whatever? What kind of what would you the what's the style of game, Caleb, where you talk to just a frozen sprite
Yeah,
and it's a
there.
dial? What is that style? What's the word for that?
I don't know if there's a specific
It
word for that.
because it's not adventure, because those are different. But kind of in that, do you talk to just an illustration of that person, or is it
Yeah,
a
the
3D
illustration
version of that person?
it's illustrations. They do move. It's not just a static image, but it is
Okay,
that.
okay.
Yeah. But so you walk up, um, and a lot of it's not really represented 3D in the world. Like for instance, I found I won't say what it is, but like I found a tape, a piece of tape laying on the ground, and when I interacted with it, something different came up. So it's not like a one-to-one graphic representation. So you do have to like kind of scour to find the clues.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh yeah, I'm
but
watching some gameplay now. Okay, yeah.
yeah, I'm not very far into it yet, but I'm really really liking it so far.
Yeah, this
It
is
looks
like
pretty
brand new too.
wacky.
Yeah,
That's why I was like, when did this come out? And I was like, oh, the review was just on September 3rd. I was just reviewing or seeing. Hmm.
yeah, I hadn't even heard of it until I was looking at Twitter and a bunch of people were really liking it. So I was like, all right, I'll check that out.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even really have like a Metacritic on it a whole lot.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
One of those weird under the radar games that pops up.
I
It
think
was
yeah,
That's
in
an
that way,
interesting place where the Switch has kind of picked up some of these titles that would normally traditionally have been Steam only,
Hmm.
you know?
What's the Wii U even kind of did that? Didn't they have what was it? Tokyo. What was that?
eh, that's not really the same. That's big JRPG,
Yeah,
but I
Oh,
think
Tokyo
Mirage
Mirage,
Sessions. Yeah,
not
that's what I was
massage
like.
sessions.
right.
Yeah,
Mirage.
that's what you had last week.
Okay.
I don't know if it'll be well, I mean, we'll see once I finish it, but in the way that it came out of nowhere and it's really a cool mystery adventure. I think it reminds me a lot of Obra Dinn in that way. Where it's just like, what is this thing? And then everybody starts talking about it and it's really cool.
Hmm.
Hopefully it ends up being as good as Obra Dinn. That would be a very nice surprise.
Yeah, I'll
That
be interested to
wow.
see how kind of
If
like.
it's ooh, that's a high bar, Caleb. Let me know if you feel it. I don't know. Critically though, it seems like people like it that much, but if it reaches that tier for you, Caleb, let me know. Because Oberdin for me was a revelation. Like
Yeah.
I just something that I didn't see coming. I didn't think I wanted or needed, and could gush about for hours like I have on these podcasts. So
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other than that, I did start Wasteland 3. I'm not very far in that either.
Yeah.
But it seems really cool so far. I like the story setup a lot, where you're kind of you're in a group called the Rangers, and I'm assuming Wasteland 1 and 2 you learn who the Rangers are and all that stuff. But at this point, the Rangers seem to be kind of on their last leg. So they're based out of Arizona normally, but you're on an expedition to Colorado to because there's a guy up there that says he's got resources that you can have if you help him out. And when you get there, you find out that he has two sons and a daughter that are trying to overthrow his rule of Colorado. And so he wants you to go capture them and bring them back to him before they're able to usurp him. So I think it's going to be one of those go do these three things kind of games. But there's nothing bad about that. It's what it is.
Hmm.
I want to play that too. That's on Game Pass as well, right?
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Okay.
one's
I'm
just.
only I don't know 30 some hours away from being able to really play my next game. So we'll
Right.
see. I'm
Yeah,
scraping by.
We
yeah,
went
you're
from
still
having
playing
like
Ghost, right?
nothing to all of a sudden having like a million games. I don't know what happened.
This week I felt that a little bit, or I felt a little bit of pressure to play Ghosts of Tsushima a little more vigorously. But it's weird because I know I can mainline that, but I just can't make myself do it. I just like there are things on the map. I've got to
Right?
go do them. I've got to finish them. I've got to go do that. I've got to chase the fox to a statue and go,
Yep.
and then move on and do it again. I gotta get buck naked and I gotta swim in the very relaxing waters of a what do you call those? What are they, Caleb? Help me out.
Hot springs.
Hot
Hot
springs.
spring. Thank you. Hot spring. Yeah. And I need to choose what I should reflect on. Logan, did you ever get to one of those?
No, I don't think I did.
I don't know
It'll
why
give
it's
you
funny.
like two options. It'll be like, do you want to reflect on your mother, or do you want to reflect on traditional Japanese cooking? And then he'll
It's
just like
and
give you a couple of sentences about it.
they're so Caleb. Did you feel like they're like totally opposite of one another?
Yeah, usually.
So one was God, yeah. One was he sits. It's great because you get to the hot spring, and he unsheathes his sword, or not unsheathes it, but he takes that belt off that holds his swords, and then it just goes to Jin Sakai's ass, getting into the hot spring, right? So he gets in there, and then it gives you two options. He's got his eyes closed, and it's like reflect upon my uncle's capture, or think fondly of a lover. And I was like, you're juggling a lot there, Jen. You kind of war has not been kind to you, Jen. You need to let's clean it up a little bit. So it's pretty funny. Or like he talks about one of them is his favorite meal, and another one in his is like his uncle's favorite meal. Like just the whatever they could come up with. I feel like they're just do the dialogue for this voice actor. I could. We're fine. It's a thing for someone to do on a map. It's fine.
The one of them made me feel really bad for him because it was like I think
Really?
it was something like the lover, something about a lover or something like that. Like settle down with a woman or something like that. And he was
Oh.
like, I can't wait until I have a chance to be rejected by a woman. Like he's like, I that would be great right now, but I have all this other stuff I have to do first.
It would be fine to be rejected. It'd be
Right.
better than this.
Be better than
Exactly.
constantly fighting to search for my sensei. And
The one other thing, so there's hot springs and the haikus. I think the haikus make me laugh too. I know they're
Yeah.
supposed to be serious, but
Well, there's
just,
that's a
it's
little
just not.
controversial too, because those aren't actual haikus. Like
Are they
well, they
really? I
wrote
don't
them
know enough
special for
about
the
they
game.
haikus.
Well, I mean, a
they
haiku is just, I mean, it's just a style of poem. It's not like a.
it's not. It's not though. That's the thing. It's not just 575.
Mhm.
There's a big like emotional component to it as well. Like to make a proper haiku, there's a lot of things that go into a
Well,
haiku
yeah,
other than just fitting the syllable
I
structure.
guess, but it's not like there's a collection of haikus and anything beyond that is not allowed to be a haiku.
No. You
That's
you can write it. You can write a new haiku, but like
yeah.
the stuff he is saying is just like observations about nature. He's like, this tree is white, like they're not actual like
Mm.
because haikus are supposed to like mean something. They're supposed to be spiritual and emotional, and the stuff that he's saying is just like it's such base level stuff
So you're saying
that
the Disney haiku book that my kids have is just not quite a haiku?
probably not. If
Mm,
you showed that to a person that writes haikus, they would probably say, no, these are not haikus.
darn.
That's why I think they're so funny, because it's just like flower blooms, river, unrelenting, penis boner. Like
It,
not
yep.
really, but it is so just like the most pedantic stuff. I know it's supposed to be. There are parts of that game that land and don't, but like that's one part that is just, whew, oh boy, oh boy, cross this off the list. Don't have to do it again.
Yep.
But yes, I'll be playing that for another 30 hours apparently, and then I'll try to play these other games.
Yeah,
Now
see
I'm
that.
gonna do this week. I'll probably play some other stuff. just so I can bring something to the conversation next week.
Yeah, that's I think what intimidated me too much about playing Ghost a lot. But like I said, it wasn't that it was a bad game. It's just like, oh God, like I don't want to dedicate that amount of time to it. I wasn't having that much fun with it.
Yeah.
So, mm.
Anything else you've been playing, Jason?
I'm chewing up ice,
Oh, sorry.
Well, ice
and I
chewing
was
game is. I mean,
on
that's
me.
a. I'm surprised it's not a phone game at this point. Like,
Wait, this is maybe we should put your mic a little closer. This is the ASMR section of the podcast.
No, I'm gonna have to let Logan take that.
Yeah.
Logan has a very genuine interest in that field. I'm gonna let him go ahead and take care of any kind of sexy unboxing. Have you guys seen? Speaking of sexy unboxing,
that's what she said. Yeah.
I haven't been playing anything Caleb else, so I'm just going to take this in
Okay.
an odd direction.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. We can come back to games. This is game related. Have you guys seen the YouTube channel with it's like if Dexter were opening up collector's editions?
No, I haven't.
It's inspired. It's great. It's like it fetishizes the process and really like in a very I don't know. Like it's just like I can see why this is such a successful channel. I don't even. We'll even
Is
link
it an
it in the
ASMR
description. I
channel?
don't care. It might be, and maybe that's me not understanding ASMR. So it might be. But there's I saw The Last of Us. There was like I'm not sure if it was a press limited edition or what, but they sent like a giant box. It's a limited box. It's beyond the super collector's edition. It has that in there, but it came in a box and then you open it up and it's got like moss growing on the inside and weapons and stuff. But the way this guy does it, he's in a completely white room. He's on a white desk and he's got on white sleeves and gloves.
Is it called The Relaxing End?
Yes, I think that's it. Is this ASMR, Logan?
Hold on.
He's like Caleb while he's observing. So he's like he'll take something off and be like, shh.
What the hell is that? Like,
he'll take a knife.
Oh yeah, that's ASMR.
Dude, this
sure.
Is that?
All right, now I got it. This is the most ASMR shit.
Is it? Yeah. Is it?
Oh my
is
God.
It?
Yeah.
But like, see how he opens everything up, and then he's just like, and then he'll take a case
on
and
the
he'll take
box.
his
This is
yeah. He'll do like.
Yeah, this is definitely ASMR.
But it's like if a serial killer opened up a collector's edition.
No, that's pretty much just what ASMR is. It's just full serial killers who are under the guise of relaxation and secret sexual tension. That is the.
When he opened up the collector's edition, I was like, this is inspired. I see why this is successful. And damn you for having so many subscribers with your creepy box opening channel that I can't get my hands on this really awesome thing. It's like a crate. I don't know. I'll show you the video, Caleb. But it's something.
Yeah.
Did you see it, Logan?
Oh yeah,
giant, I was right.
Yeah, that's what I watched like the first 40 seconds there, and it was. That's definitely ASMR. That's for sure. I mean, he's got 6.2 million subscribers. This actually might be like the highest subscriber count for an ASMR channel. That's actually not an ASMR channel.
I watch some of them and see. It's not the sounds for me as much as like the way that he just pets things and then carefully opens them up. But he's also showing you the stuff too. So like if you never were gonna see this like really special edition of this thing, he's giving you like a very like I guess it is almost perverse, like super zoomed in version of the collector thing that you may not ever get to see. But I don't know. Maybe I'll have to consume more of that. Maybe I am into ASMR, Logan, and I just found out just now.
You are into it. That's the funny thing. It is more impressive looking through here. Like this is like I'm more impressed with the stuff he's getting. Like but if you've got 6 million subscribers, you're gonna get some special stuff.
Sure.
But then like you start going farther back in time, like like he's got some stream on here from it's just called "Sex After Pizza Dinner Scene" from Beyond Two Souls. Like he's just got that posted on there, and that's got 7 million views.
It sounds like our channel where we just have random gameplay
Random
of
shit.
stuff, and
Yeah, you
There's no
go through
rivalries
the
in
art
all
channel and
those.
you're like, these guys seem respectful. They seem like they know what's going on, and then boom, it's the dead or alive beach volleyball video that just hits you like a ton of bricks,
or
and
it's
then you realize what kind of
Logan's
perverts you're
NBA
dealing with.
2K blooper reel.
Hmm. Hey, we experimented with some stuff.
Yeah.
That's fine.
One point in time,
Everybody experiments.
it's like that video is like 5 years old now.
There was something I was just looking the other day, and I was like, why does that have so many views? I can't remember what it was, but one of our random video. Oh, when I did the gameplay video of Animal Soccer World,
Yeah, I don't
that
understand why
has
that was.
like a surprising amount of views.
It has a lot of views for no reason.
Yeah.
No commentary, no nothing.
Right.
Just
This. Yeah.
oh,
The first big hit video way back when before I even did achievement videos or was trying to do them.
mhm.
There was a it was what was it? It was just me playing something on silent for 70 minutes.
Overwatch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Overwatch.
Mhm.
Yeah. Logan said it was like some Russian forum or something.
Yeah, it got
I
picked
can't
up.
remember.
Yeah, like I looked up the source of all the videos, and somehow it got placed on a Russian like message board of like, "Hey, check out this game."
And it was me just being Reaper over and over and over, shotgunning people.
Mhm.
Like I'm not good at it. Like that's when I realized that this is all just
It's a crapshoot.
Yep.
who knows? Who
Yeah.
knows?
We could do the best. We could put hundreds of hours into a video and have it be the best thing ever, and it gets 4 views.
Yeah.
But something like that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll have to look. I wonder if the most viewed one is still that. There was a Syndicate. There's an Assassin's Creed Syndicate achievement video, and that was the highest one for a long time. And I think it was worth like $10 or something back when we were monetized. So I was like, yep,
Yeah.
this is bit of a crapshoot.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb, did you play anything else? I didn't have anything else to play. Sorry, I went on that tangent.
No, I don't. I've been watching a little bit of TV, but
Yeah, what
not,
have you
not
been watching?
games.
I've got a couple sections of things to talk about, but go ahead.
I watched the first 3 episodes of The Boys are out.
Yeah.
So I watched those.
Wait,
You watched those
3?
too?
Yeah, their first
Hold on.
3 episodes are out.
Yeah, and now they're doing weekly.
That's weird.
I think
I really like that actually.
Ted
I think that's a
Lasso did
great way
that
to
too,
do
didn't
it.
they?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're like, so it's kind of giving you like, hey, here's some stuff to watch right away, and then like we'll spoon feed you the rest of it every week. I do kind of think that's a decent model too.
I like it a lot because if they put out all 10 at once, I immediately feel like I'm behind. But three I can do. Three in a week I can do, but like watching 10 all at once is kind of a lot.
Right. But then especially like, hey, it can get you through the fact of like, especially on like a Labor Day weekend thing, like, yeah, you got an extra day off here or whatever. If you got the time, here's 3 episodes
The
at
other thing
least.
too, and I think especially with The Boys, it works out well is when they go week to week, then you can have the water cooler chats.
Mm-hmm.
You can, hey, did you see this week's The Boys?
I
if
think
you do all 10, it's like, do you remember episode 4? That's a little weird.
That's been one of the nights. I think the HBO has forced people on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, even Disney has taken that model too. I mean, they've been okay. Everything comes out on Fridays, so when their series comes out, The Mandalorian will be out here in October again, and people will be like, "Oh yeah, can't wait to go see this week's The Mandalorian." So, yeah, I think that works. But back to I guess The Boys. I will get to that. I just haven't had time to watch it without children around.
You definitly don't want children around for this.
Not at all.
It is at least once or twice per episode you do with the gore factor in the show.
Is it pretty much kind of the same vibe and everything as the season before?
Exactly the same.
Okay.
You already know if you're gonna like The Boys season 2 or not.
That's fair.
It's just more The Boys.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't have a ton to say about it other
worse,
than that.
Just better, worse, the same. Seems like the same.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know there's a bunch of new characters they added in, but I don't know much beyond that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's good. It's good TV. but like there are better things, there are worse things, and this is gonna you'll know in like the first 20 minutes of the show whether or not you're gonna like the whole thing or you're gonna hate the whole thing.
Mm,
It's just one of those.
yeah, and that's probably true for season 1 as well.
Yep.
Hmm.
Before we get distracted, I
Mhm.
just wanted to say we have one video, and it makes me a little bit sad because of the way they restructured. Because it would be worth a couple of bucks, all these views, but we have one video with 27,000 views, and we just don't have the active whatever the metric is that we're not meeting. We just don't
We
have
might
it.
actually have it now.
Yeah,
Have
I
you
don't think
checked lately?
we haven't
Because
tried.
last I
Sure,
knew,
everybody
it
loves
was
this
the only thing
discussion.
we were missing was 1,000 subscribers, and we have that now. So
Yeah,
we
I'd have
might
to
be able
look.
to
I think it's concurrent views
I think
or
it's watch time.
like watch time. Yeah,
we
I
were
think that
hitting
would.
that though. I'm pretty sure we were hitting that.
Okay, we'll look at it
So
off
we
of
should look
this.
at
I
that
was just
again. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that has 27,000 because I was all excited a few years ago when it had two, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
that's a lot.
Well, yeah, that's all right. I have a video that I created for a class one time on how to change the speed on a power wheel, and that has 54,000 views on my channel.
Look at you. Well done.
Yep.
Well done.
That's old. That's all I have on that channel is that. I used it for a class years ago. But hey, it's useful stuff, I guess, when parents need to Google something. So it must be hitting that algorithm just right.
Is the Boys Prime
Yes.
Yep.
Voice is on
Amazon?
Prime.
So are they going to do that with everything? Are they going to tier out the releases?
This is
I
probably an
think it
Prime?
experiment
depends
to see if they'll
on.
do it.
I think it depends on what the structure of the show is, because I think that they do want to know, like, are people going to want to go through this every week with their friends, or is this something we just need to push out there and let happen? So I think each show is going to be different.
Yeah, they'll probably look and
My
see like, did
understanding.
everybody watch all three at once, and then are people like, or people just waiting until it all comes out and then watch it later? Because some people like to do that. Um,
Yeah, it unfortunately got well. If you look at the user scores on The Boys season 2, it's extremely low
mhm.
because it got review bombed because people were mad that they didn't all come out at once, which I think is a little stupid, but whatever. Like, you really gonna watch 10 episodes in a week?
Some people do. Well, some people have nothing better to do other than just watch whatever it is right when it comes out. So,
Well, let's draw a quick parallel
mhm.
line between the kind of person that review bombs and the kind of person that would watch 10 episodes of something consecutively.
I think they're about the same person.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean,
Oh, I see how we got here.
these episodes are at least an hour, if not an hour 10. Like, they are
Oh wow.
long episodes.
That's like sitting and
So
watching movies over like pretty much a movie at that point, back to back.
right.
But I mean,
Since
people.
we're talking about that, I've not there was a show that always will shock me with like the trust that they gave this show at the end of its run, and I don't think I've ever seen it before, and I'll ever see it again. It was really unique. I don't think either of you guys watched it. I don't know. Logan definitely didn't. But Sons of Anarchy, at the end of its run, the last 3 seasons, they gave Kurt Sutter so much rope. Like it was, I, from what I understand, networks have a lot of executive input before something, like before a pilot hits the air, or a pilot may go to test and then they'll get feedback, then they'll step in, and there's kind of a push and pull between like creatives, writers, producers, from what I understand, to get something greenlit because there's a lot of input, and mostly producers want money, right? They want return on their investment, and creatives want to be creative. So there's a bit of a back and forth there. But since Sons of Anarchy was such a humongous success, the last 3 seasons of that show, he was pushing out like hour and a half, hour 45 episodes. Like I've never
Yeah.
seen anything like it. Like what are we like The Wire, The Sopranos, Breaking Bad actually got shorter. AMC tried to sell it like, and that's, people say, and most people agree, whatever, best show of all time, but um I've never seen anything, especially on a cable channel. I've never seen anything like it where they just like the Americans, Logan.
Hmm.
Like if they were going to do that again, if FX was going to do that with any show, it would have been the Americans. And the Americans was like a tight 52, 53
Hmm.
every week, every episode
Yeah,
throughout.
I
Yeah,
was,
I've
I,
never seen that, and it blows my mind like that they let him do that. But more ad revenue, maybe didn't bother people, and it was good. It was good all the way to the end. That show.
there was a, I listened to an interview with the creator of Lovecraft Country, and she wanted to do that. She
Hmm.
was like, that was one of the reasons why she wanted to go to HBO was she was like, we could do hour and a half episodes, we can do 45-minute episodes, like whatever the episode requires, we can do there. And then when she got there and started filming, they were like, nope, they need to be tight 1 hour. We need to fit them in these 1 hour gaps.
I believe that. Even HBO will be, I think, a legacy cable network in that way for at least another 20 years.
Hmm.
Like they've made their bones on um being a Sunday night thing. And so I bet 20 somethings that watch The Sopranos on Sunday night will have an HBO subscription the rest of their life, and they will go to that network on Sunday night for a long time. And that's not how we watch TV, but I bet there's some people out there that still do.
Right.
I don't know about 20 years from now, but
Yeah,
We'll
maybe
see.
we've
not.
seen
I
it
don't.
before. We've seen
Yeah, I
quite the
don't
shift
know.
in the last 20 years
You're
in
right.
TV. So,
You're right. So if we say what was
um,
20 years ago, right? You're right.
20 years ago
So
was The Sopranos. That's
was
actually
like prime
Well,
Sex
Sopranos,
and the
right?
City, The Sopranos, Arliss.
Arliss was before that,
Yeah,
wasn't
but
it?
I think it was on in like the late 90s, maybe. So
Okay.
we're
I
like
mean,
maybe 25
I
years ago.
I heard a story of a guy. He took his two kids to the grandparents' house for a weekend, and they wanted to watch cartoons or something. So he
Mm-hmm.
turned on, the TV. It was cable,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, "Dad, what is this? Is weird. Why are there like ads in the middle of this show?"
Mm-hmm.
Like they had never seen commercials.
So Caleb, I can draw you a direct comparison to that because we just went to vacation and in the house there was a TV in the kids' room and they got to watch TV and the only thing I could find was like a 24/7 PBS uh
PBS
PBS
Kids.
network.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, PBS Kids network and
Mm-hmm.
there were commercials and she's like what is this? Why can't no, I don't want to watch this. I want to watch something else. Find this. And I'm like,
Yeah,
this is the best we can do. I'm sorry. And then the commercials are on. And she's like, but the show's not on. I don't understand. And I was like, just wait, just sit here. Oh, it's on. It's fine. Okay, you can go.
And
And
then
it
like
was,
5 minutes later, wait a minute, what is going on? Why is there this?
yeah,
yeah,
it was,
Yeah,
it threw
it's.
her off, man.
Mm-hmm.
Threw her off.
I say my oldest is 9 now, and she grew up at least until she was 3 or 4, knowing that there were commercials and things. I mean that she was used to it by the at that point. But yeah, I mean now there's just not. I mean yeah, you can. There's a lot of stuff that she watches now. There's no commercials in or anything else, and we'll go somewhere like a hotel or something, and yeah, then your only option is stuff with a. I mean, we can hook up their iPads to the hotel Wi-Fi that's garbage, but it's just easier to throw
yeah.
on whatever on the TV. But yeah, it's a completely different world, that's for sure. We didn't even have DVR 20 years ago,
Yeah.
Yeah, wow, you're
and now
right.
we're at a point where we have complete on-demand everything. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah.
So the other thing I say, like, who's going to watch all the episodes in 1 week? But I actually did that with AP Bio. I mean, it's a little different because those are 20-minute episodes, and there's
Mm.
only 8.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Yeah.
they put out all 8 on Peacock of season 3. And I think this is probably the first like must watch thing on Peacock. Like I haven't seen anything else on Peacock that's even interesting.
Wasn't
But
AP Bio pretty
AP
much
Bio
on
is
their NBC app anyway?
it was yeah, it was renewed and then they moved it to Peacock. So the first 2 seasons were on NBC proper. and then they moved it to Peacock for the
No,
third.
I thought for some reason that it was only on their like NBC app thing to start with,
They
and then
they tried some weird stunt stuff with it because I don't think it. I don't know. I don't think it did, that great.
yeah, because
But
didn't they do
it's
that
a
with Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist too?
yeah. I
Like it
think
was only on
they
Hulu and
they try some
their
weird
NBC
stuff.
app.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely worth watching. I like that show a lot. It's got I can't think of his real name, but Dennis from It's Always Sunny. And he's basically just a terrible person, and he gets roped into teaching high school biology, and he doesn't want to do it. He's a philosopher, and he refuses to actually teach biology. So it's just him in front of these kids being an asshole and having them do random stuff on his personal behalf. It's pretty funny.
Hmm.
Is that and is Peacock? Peacock's free, right?
Yeah, there's a couple tiers to it. I know a lot of it's
Okay.
free, and then there's a paid tier as well. I'm not sure what this one's on, to be honest.
Well,
Okay.
are you
Yeah,
paying
I'll
for a
look.
tier?
No, I'm not, so it must be free.
Yeah. Because yeah, I think there's a lot of stuff free on Peacock, from what I understand.
That's
Well, but I
that's
might be
my
logged in
understanding.
with a cable account though, so that might be different.
Oh, yeah, that could
I don't
be.
know. Peacock's kind of confusing with the tier system.
Well, because Xfinity still owns NBC, or Comcast, I guess, is the parent company, or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah, that could be that could be a whole other thing. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only got on there to watch the Dan Patrick Show. That's it. Because they moved. It was funny. He went from NBC Sports Network to being fired from NBC Sports Network to going out on YouTube on his own after DirecTV flopped, and then now he's back on NBC, but on the Peacock network. Or it's super weird.
Yeah, it is. It is odd, but that show just keeps on going. That's good. That's good for
That is a
sports
good thing.
fans. That's
Yes.
good.
Like,
Yeah, it is.
uh,
Any more TV, Caleb? Because I know Logan had some video game stuff that we wanted to touch on. That he
Just one
showed me
more
some
thing.
stuff that I looked really exciting.
mm.
Go ahead.
I started watching Cobra Kai. Apparently, it moved to
Oh yeah.
Netflix for the first time.
Yeah,
It
and I
was
heard it
on
actually got
YouTube.
better when it went to Netflix.
Well, I'm still in the first season, so I'm
Okay.
not sure, but
Which was
it's
YouTube, right?
surprisingly good. Yeah, it's YouTube Red.
Yeah, it
Oh
was
yeah,
that was
okay,
YouTube
still a
Red.
paid
thing.
YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't even think that's a thing anymore, is it?
I think they just call it
I don't
YouTube
know.
Premium now.
Yeah, but it's actually surprisingly good. And the thing that got me to start watching it was I found out they were half-hour episodes and not hour episodes.
Mm.
So it's like the perfect like jump in, and because I've never watched any of the Karate Kid movies, but this for whatever reason is still good to me, and they do a really good job of like flashing back to the movies when it's appropriate. When you need to know something from the movies, they'll go back to it.
Mm.
That's cool.
But I think it's a really solid show. I don't think it's going to win awards or anything like that, but it's surprisingly good for being on YouTube. Like, who would have thought, right?
Yeah, who knew?
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Right. Yeah, say we were gonna, Jason, you and I were probably gonna talk more about news, right? I guess you want to call that. The Nintendo Direct that happened this week. Caleb, did you watch any of that?
I didn't watch any of it, but I heard
Okay.
some.
So yeah, they did a Mario specific Nintendo Direct this week for the 35th anniversary, and made a lot of random announcements. The kind of more notable ones I'll kind of start to go through here is they're making a competitive Mario called Super Mario Brothers 35, which is essentially Tetris 99 but with Super Mario Brothers 1. And so, like, say you step on a Goomba, like all of a sudden a Goomba is going to fall on everybody else's screen, and vice versa. So it's just going to be a constant barrage of mushrooms and coins and Goombas and turtle shells, and it's the last one who stays alive wins. And it comes
Caleb, you
out.
should look at the footage of that. It looks bat spit. It looks crazy.
Okay.
It looks
That
real.
does not sound interesting to me at all.
It
But
looks real dumb, like, but like dumb in a good, like ridiculous, chaotic way. Um, I think it comes out October 1st, if I remember right. So, one thing, and so Jason, you and I were watching this today, though I didn't bring up, is that is only going to be available from October 1st until March 31st. So they're putting a
I
limited thing on that. Everybody was kind of comparing it to the Disney Vault. Like, remember when, like, oh yeah, this movie is going to be out, but only for a certain amount of time before it goes back in the Disney Vault. Like,
I think it's like an experimental thing. What I mean by look at it, Caleb, is you got to play it. I mean, just observe it because it's like it's a very un-Nintendo thing to do as they become more experimental in these new days. Like this is
Well, I don't
weird.
know. To
Like
me,
it's almost modish in a way.
that sounds like they don't have anything coming out this fall, so they put together something quickly so that they do have something.
so yeah, that they have nothing new coming out this fall. Let's put it that way. They have a bunch of rehashes of things. There is one new thing that's coming out, and that would be Mario Kart Home Circuit. And I'm not even sure if that's new, but it's Mario Kart with an actual RC car with a camera on top of it, and you can create tracks within your house and drive the Mario Kart thing around. And but within your Switch, you're seeing what the camera sees. Plus, you've got AR like bots that you're driving around playing against, but you're driving a physical car around your house. And you can get a Mario and a Luigi, so you can have two different carts going around your house. And you can set up the tracks however you want.
What's the retail on that, Logan?
A
Do you know?
hundred bucks a car.
Yeah, I mean
It ain't cheap.
it's it is it is technically very impressive. And I think compared to some of the stuff that they've done lately, I am more impressed by this thing, honestly. But it is expensive. Like it's pricey. It's pricey technology, but it's cool. I've not seen anything like it before. So
Yeah, it looks really cool because the fact, I mean, it is you just playing Mario Kart and it's your house. I mean, you can clearly tell. I mean, it's
it
the.
looks neat.
Mhm. So if you get a chance to check out that video, the Mario Kart home circuit. But yeah, $100 a car is pretty steep.
Yeah. You hope I mean, I don't know, it's novel, right?
Hmm.
But like
And I don't
how
even know. I
often are
guess.
you gonna use it? You
Well, and I
know,
guess
it's
the
not
other thought
a
is too is okay. Let's say you get one car. Do you need if you buy two cars? Do you need two switches, or can you throw it up on the TV and have split screen? That
who
has yet to be
knows.
answered, and that comes out October 16th. That is not that far away.
We'll see what happens. We'll hear, you know. People
Maybe,
will
yeah.
cover it.
But yeah, it was basically just like a little commercial for it, about a 2 minute commercial, and then it was just like, okay, and here it is, and you kind of had to look up later to see how much it cost. The other thing that Super Mario 3D World, the one that was on the Wii U, will be coming out February 12th of next year.
Did you play that, Caleb?
I did not. I,
Really? I'm
I didn't. I
surprised.
didn't get into the 3D World games.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't
Yeah,
know.
I did. I don't know enough about it. So Logan and I were talking about like historically the things that we played in this coming Mario batch of games, which is all remakes, right?
Mm.
Or re-releases or digital stuff. But
So
I didn't play that.
3D World is it's like a 3D translation of the 2D games, if that makes any sense, where
Okay.
you're kind of on a linear track. It's not it's
It's
not
not
like
open.
64 and Odyssey and stuff where it's all open. You go do whatever you want. And those are the games that I like. I'm not a
Okay.
big fan of like the when you're on when you're just on a
Rails.
track. Yeah, when you're on rails,
Hmm.
Mario.
Well, do I have a game for you then? They are going to
Railing
re-release.
Mario. Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
Rail and
No,
Mario.
that one.
That
Okay.
is a
Whew.
that is a
Excuse
Pornhub
me.
exclusive. That is no the
Very profitable.
right. They are going to re-release Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy as Super Mario 3D All Stars, and that comes out like 2 weeks from now.
And that's also limited.
That is also
They're
limited
gonna
until they're only going to sell it through March 31st
yeah.
of next year.
But they did say that after March 31st, you can buy them all individually digitally. So it's
Yes.
not like you can't get them anymore. You just can't get them in that package
Yeah. So
anymore.
yeah, I've got a pre-ordered retail package of it coming, but yeah. At the same time, though, like you said, there's absolutely nothing new other than the Mario Kart thing.
Yeah.
Everything else is a re-release of something else. Well, in Super Mario 35, if you want to call that a new game.
I'm probably going to wait on the 3D collection because like I've already played through 64, I've already played through Galaxy. I don't think I ever played all the way through Sunshine. I
I
know I
didn't
played
play
a
all the way
big
through it
chunk
either.
of it, but
I played a
that's
lot
the
of
only
it.
one that I think I'm interested in. And there's so much out this fall. Like I'll wait until next spring to get the
Yeah.
individual.
See, I'll get
Logan
it
and I were
because
talking about
yeah.
that. I haven't played Sunshine either,
Mm.
so I kind of want to know why it's so people love it or hate it.
Polarizing.
Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah, and for me, I mean, I end up playing a lot of it? No. Will my kids play all of it? Yep. And it'll be fun to watch them go back and play Mario 64. I never played through Galaxy.
You
I would
should
actually
that
like
should be the first one that you show your kids is Galaxy.
I yeah. Yeah. Well, no, what we got to do is at least pull up the start screen for Mario 64.
Oh, okay.
That you
Fair
got to
enough.
do first.
Yeah.
You got to pull his nose and make him say all kinds of stupid stuff. Like that's what you do, and then we'll go to Galaxy. But I worry, I guess, about like if we having them start on Galaxy, like, or should we start them on 64? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess if you start on Galaxy, they might not want to go backwards.
Right, that might be the thing.
But that's definitely the one they'll have the most fun with. I can
Right.
almost guarantee that.
Yeah, and I mean they didn't like super upres the graphics for 64, but they at least put it a 16:9 ratio, and so they at least did that
yeah.
work for it.
There's no aliasing and 16:9. You know, like as much as they could clean it up.
Hmm. So I'll take that for what it is. But like I said, it
I
is
really like that game. I think Mario
64.
64 is just so good.
And
Uh,
I'm curious if you actually get right stick camera controls, like
Oh, I would
proper
hope
ones, or
so.
if it's the old way where you have to it like zooms around in sections.
Oh, that would be bad. I would hope they would fix that for it. I
I'm
can't
really
imagine they
curious how those
wouldn't.
controls will be.
Um, but oh, sorry, yawning. Yeah. Otherwise, Nintendo has really nothing coming out this fall, right?
Right? And I mean it's not the worst year in the world for them to have nothing because they were gonna get crushed anyway. Um there's two other
Maybe. I
there's two
mean,
consoles coming out, so like how are they gonna compete with that?
at the same time, they could also be the people that are going, well, you don't want to buy these new consoles. Hey, we've got this one for you where all you got to buy is a couple games, and
I
our
think their
consoles.
library is already pretty strong to do
Yeah,
that. If people are put off by the price tags on the new ones, then they can work that in the marketing and say,
right.
"Hey, ours
Yeah,
is much
yeah,
cheaper,
we're still a
and
three
you
hundred
have all
dollar
this
system.
back stuff you haven't played yet."
Hmm.
So
So, yeah, yeah, it is. I think originally they probably were planning on having Metroid available this year, but
yeah,
that just didn't happen, and yeah, I don't know where they are with everything else. It seems
I
like
don't know.
Breath of the Wild
It'll
2
be
is probably
interesting.
another
Yeah,
year
where
out.
Breath of the Wild 2 is. I don't
When they
know if
announced that
that's
a couple years, or what was it last year they announced it, I was like, what are you doing? Like all this is like
yeah.
it just seems so early. Like it was
They've
getting
fallen into
everybody
that
hyped up.
trap before too. Like it was Skyward Sword, wasn't it? That didn't they show that like way ahead of time, and then everybody got mad.
I don't remember.
I think you're right. Was Skyward Sword the Cube one, GameCube one?
No, the Wii one.
Oh
Because
yeah.
didn't they had somebody
Oh,
come
and
out
then
on
they
stage.
re-released. They re-released. Well, were those releases concurrent?
The Wind Waker one?
The Wind Waker. No, not Wind Waker. The game after Wind Waker.
Twilight Princess.
Yeah, was Twilight Princess concurrent on Wii and GameCube?
Yes, it
Yes.
was because
Okay.
the strategy guide. This is actually interesting. So Link is always left-handed in every game except for the Wii version of Twilight Princess because you're swinging your sword with your right hand. So
Oh
because
yeah.
it came out on the GameCube and Wii at the same time, they literally just flipped the screen for each version. So if you put, I had the strategy guide for it, and everything, I had the GameCube version, and everything in the strategy guide was exactly the opposite, flipped, because they wanted to keep Link left-handed for the GameCube version.
That's weird.
Weird,
Right?
Yeah. Nintendo.
Yeah, Nintendo
Man.
gonna Nintendo, that's for sure.
But
Um,
I'm pretty sure with Skyward Sword, they had somebody come out on stage and try to use the Wii controls with it, or this might have been Twilight Princess, and like the controls were just not working at all. So it was like a terrible, terrible demo. I can't remember what event that was at though, but I know like after that it took like years for that game to come out afterwards. So hopefully they don't fall back into that trap again with Breath of the Wild 2.
Interesting. The yeah, I'm just trying to think of anything else with Nintendo this year. Yeah, the things that are coming out. Obviously, your detective game, the Paradise Killer,
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Okay, sure, if that might be the thing they come out with.
And there's a lot of stuff that's just now getting ported over to Switch too.
Yeah,
So there'll be stuff on Switch, but you may
Kingdom
have already
Hearts
played
Melody
it.
of Memories coming to Switch.
You're the
The,
only person excited for that, I
I
think.
know. I don't even know if I'm excited for it actually. Like I'm gonna play it because it's obviously it is what it is, but I have zero expectations for that thing being. That's I'm actually thinking about getting it on the Switch because I think it might be an alright game to just throw on the Switch instead of buying it for like PS4 or something. Like, yeah, I don't. That could be one just to, I don't know, screw around with.
Do you guys have a growing? Do you have a growing list of games? Either of you that are on your list to get to? I think Caleb, the answer is yes. But Logan, do you feel like you're pretty well caught up?
No, I'm definitely not caught up. I say I need to finish up Spiritfarer. I want to try Avengers. Uh, that came out Friday.
Is that Friday?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it's a whole 4 days old
I heard
now.
really good things about Avengers, and now
I
I'm
have
really curious
heard
about it.
really good things about the single player,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
and I've also read that essentially it tells you at the beginning of the game that yeah, co-op's available, but you shouldn't do it until after you play the single player.
Well, from what I understand, you can't play the single player missions in co-op.
No,
Like
you
the main
can't.
story you cannot play in co-op, but there are specific like milestones that you get to in the campaign where it unlocks co-op missions that are optional that you can
Right.
do.
So yeah, it's essentially yeah, it's why I think that's what I understand. Yeah, it's that you could start doing some co-op stuff right away, but you're not gonna it's gonna be very limited. And so for people who are just wanting to, go out there and get the game and start playing with their friends, like yeah, that's not that game. And they sure didn't market it that way. Like they
Yeah.
really kind of hit on like, oh yeah, you get to be the Hulk, you get to be Thor, and yeah, you do, but you gotta go through this like 8-hour campaign first, which
It's 8 hours.
that's what I'm seeing is that it's about 8 hours, which that's not bad, but for somebody who wants to just dive in and not be Ms. Marvel for 8 hours, that would kind of suck.
Sure.
So
Is that on everything? Is that
I think
Xbox One, PC, PS4?
no Switch though.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean I'll get it, I'll play it. Probably this week sometime is my goal.
Okay.
So we'll see what that looks
Yeah,
like
the
between
rest of the
softball
things on
games.
my list that I may or may not get to before the end of the year, we'll see. Half-Life Alyx.
Mm.
I'll need a VR headset for that though, so I'll have to borrow one from
I
somebody.
know where you can find one of those.
Yeah, yeah. I think I got a lead on one of those.
Okay.
Paper Mario,
Oh yeah.
Spiritfarer, obviously. There's a game called Moon Remix RPG Adventure. Apparently this is an old Japanese RPG that just got English translated this year. And people describe it as the anti-RPG. Um, I'm curious what that means, because I think what they mean by that is like you'll think it's going one way and then it'll do something on you that is completely unexpected.
So not
So I'm kind of
style.
curious to check that out.
Hmm.
Captain Tsubasa, which is that anime soccer game. I still want to check that out.
Hmm.
Wasteland, Avengers, Paradise Killer, and then maybe Tony Hawk. I don't know if I'll get to that or not, but we'll
I
see.
don't have any reverence for Tony Hawk games.
I don't either, but
Mhm.
I don't know. With everybody talking about how good it is, I just kind of want to see it.
It's still just Tony Hawk Pro Skater though, right? It's just a good
1
remake,
and 2
a good remaster of it or whatever.
of the first 2 games.
Okay.
Jason, what's on your list?
Mostly Game Pass stuff. I would like to look at Carry On, Spiritfarer, Wasteland, the stuff we've talked about. I want to make sure that I hit that stuff eventually. I know that where I'm going to run up against hour count sacrifices somewhere, so I'm going to need to make some. I want to play Marvel too. I'll play Avengers as well. Manhunter or Maneater, sorry. That was the Manhunter was the original Red Dragon before Red Dragon. Better version of that movie, by the way. Starred CSI guy. I don't know what his name was, but you know CSI guy and the guy with the beard, CSI guy.
The
Yeah,
guy
he
with
was
the
in that
beard.
movie.
Yep, got it.
He was Edward Norton's character. That movie's way better. Prequel to Silence of the Lambs. The actual prequel to Silence of the Lambs. I think that's it though. Maneater, Carry On, Wasteland, and then Spiritfarer. I think are the games that are on my list. I don't have a formal list, so I might be forgetting something, but I'm not going to get through Wasteland probably. You know, Cyberpunk is
Right.
in November. We've talked about this a
Mhm.
lot, but and Ghost of Tsushima I really do enjoy, but it is consuming. I mean, it's a lot of hours, and I don't think I'll be willing to do that again unless I really love something. And I have looked at Mortal Kombat a lot and been like, "Ooh, I want to play you," but I haven't. I haven't because um, I don't know. I enjoy that a lot, but I don't know. I'd probably get my ass kicked or would kick ass, and then I'd be like back in it again, like just be all over it. And I really would like to play stuff. I really want to play more stuff. So um, I think that's it. I'm probably forgetting something, like I said, but I think that's it that I can think of.
Yeah, I'm just looking through stuff here and um yeah, other things that I would like to play through this year. I think Watch Dogs Legion I'd at least like to give a shot to. I want to try that Dark Pictures Anthology new game, Little Hope. Um,
When is that? That's the
that
October.
is October 30th.
Oh,
So
fitting.
fitting, yes. And then obviously Cyberpunk, Kingdom Hearts, Melody of Memory, and then after that, there's no release dates on these, but the Spider-Man Miles Morales game hopefully comes out this year, and then also Bug Snacks.
Bug snacks.
Bug
Are
Snacks.
you? Did you guys decide that you're both out? Oh, I'm gonna play Battletoads. I've just got to see what's going on there. Um, did
Yes,
you
please do
guys?
that, and
Are you
please
guys?
report back. I'm curious
Sure,
about that.
I'll take the bullet.
Okay.
What's Did you guys decide that you're not gonna do Tell Me Why? Are you guys both out on that?
If I have time, I have it downloaded. Um,
Uh,
I don't think it's very long. It's only 3 episodes. Um, I'll try to give it a shot.
I am out on that unless I hear good things from
All
somebody
right,
that I
I
know.
will try to bite the bullet on that one. I will give episode 1 a shot and let you know how it goes. If it stinks, I'll stop.
Is there a way to look at your game library on? Because I'm in the Game Pass app, and I don't think there's a way for me to do it on your
Probably
game
not.
library. I don't know if you guys have ever done that. Yeah, I would. I think I don't think I forgot anything, but
Mm.
I know I have a Game Pass list that is growing.
Mm.
Yeah, I use there's an app that I use called, let me do a plug
Game
on it real
Tracks.
quick. Yeah, Game Track.
Mhm.
Okay.
And they just released version 3.0, which is
Yes.
a huge improvement.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So I would recommend that if you're looking for something to keep track of games.
Sure.
12 minutes is still listed as a 2020 game. FYI,
Yeah, it is.
with no
I
official
can
date.
hope.
So
Okay,
that
I
is
can
still on
hope.
my list. Also, that is still a 2020 game listed on here is Kenna Bridge of Spirits. It was one of the games on the PS5 thing that they showed. I thought that one looked all right. And also Cuphead, the Delicious Last Course is still listed as 2020.
Oh, I forgot about that.
So
I mean,
I
when
wonder if
they
that'll
with
happen.
Cuphead originally, they said it was going to be out, and then it was out like 4 years later. So
yeah, I feel like it's
maybe,
Worth it.
been
yeah,
yeah, it's been one of those though that that's been in production for 2 years now. I mean, this
yeah.
DLC has, so I don't know how big it is, but I was expecting like maybe the size of an island. There's what, 3 islands in Cuphead?
Caleb, did you know that? Did we talking about Wasteland, right? Did you see the original Wasteland is on? Am I looking at the right thing?
No.
The original Wasteland is on Game Pass.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just
So I
just
looked up
if you're curious.
ahead of time. I looked at the subreddit where somebody asked, "Do you need to play the first two Wasteland games?" And they were like, "Probably not. You'll
Okay.
get better context for stuff, but you'll be. It is a self-contained story, so
Okay.
you
This
can
game
skip
looks like
those.
it's old. Like it not old, but it looks like
Yeah,
I'm not sure when the original one came out, but it
yeah.
looks
I'm not
aged.
sure.
These screenshots look like it's definitely of a time for sure. I'm not sure
It
how much you would enjoy it
was.
looking at these screenshots, honestly. You know, a game I really
Oh,
enjoyed,
okay. So
New
you're
Series
looking at
4.
the you're probably looking at the remaster, which just came out this year, actually.
Yeah, that's what
Um,
I'm looking at. The
but
remaster
or-
is on Game Pass.
originally it came out in 1988.
Oh,
Yeah,
whoa.
Hmm.
Wow. Man, talk about a gap in time. Hmm. That's nuts. Okay, yeah. Here come the games, guys. Whether you like it or not. Got some
Hmm.
right.
stuff that we gotta get through.
Yeah, I felt like I was relatively caught up, and then all of a sudden, just nope,
Stuff
way
started
behind
hitting.
again.
I know. That's why I'm trying to finish up some things just so I can get moving. But I feel like I'm not making a dent sometimes.
Man, wait, man, Game Pass is such a good value. I'm looking at all this stuff. These things just like, oh, here's Wasteland 2, Caleb. All of them are on here.
Yeah, that came
If you
out.
really wanted to,
That only came out a few years ago, I think, though.
okay. Yeah, this looks like a 360 release, maybe.
Yeah,
It could be even earlier than that, but at minimum a 360 release from the screenshots.
Hmm.
I
But
think I
like,
remember seeing that at PAX one year, so I think it's
oh, okay,
relatively recent.
wow, maybe even more than that then. Um, just like stuff that they sneak in here. If you don't follow it like every day, you may not know. But for people that aren't us, that want to play games and good games from the past few years, like this is Hotline Miami is on here now. There's just it's just like this giant pile of stuff. The Yakuzas they've dropped. If you're curious what those are and you want to sink hours into something,
Yeah, those are all on there.
there you go.
Yeah,
That's a it's just a it's kind of a surprising value, and that's not this isn't a like pump you up for the new console kind of thing. It doesn't matter what console you have to do this, right?
right.
So
Mm-mm.
it's just I'm impressed with Microsoft's service here
Final
more
Fantasy VII
than
is on there,
anything.
Logan. You could play like the first 3 hours of that game
You
and
should
see how
do
it
that. You should
compares.
see it. You should see it through the remake because like
Yeah.
it's not it's not going to take very long. You're going to be shocked. You're oh,
If
okay, I'm done.
if the
Like,
world's circumstances were different, I would say we should get together and record that.
oh, that would be cool,
Like,
man.
just record the first
maybe
3 hours
maybe
of
we
Final
can figure
Fantasy.
out a way. Yeah, maybe we can figure out a way to make that happen.
I'm
I
sure
don't
we
know.
could. There's a way to do it. There's a way to do everything if we really
That's
wanted to.
that should be some technical homework for us to see if we can pull that off, like a feed into because it's not like we need some high fidelity feed here. You know, this is
Yeah.
an old game. We just need it to be 720.
Hmm.
Really,
Yeah.
if there was a way to capture a fourth feed in Zoom or something, I don't know. We should
We'll
look at
Or
do
that.
it.
Try to figure it out.
Yeah.
or we sit on couches 6 feet apart and do it.
Also not.
How long are those? Our XLR cords are pretty long, aren't they? I
I
was
think you
thinking
could
about that
probably do
today.
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think they're all. I think they're all 6 foot long, and you could. And that one is like 12 foot.
It
I
would
mean,
be
think about it.
hilarious.
In
We roll
Logan's
out to
basement,
Logan's new. We could do it in Logan's new back patio. He just expanded it for this very
I
reason.
did.
So we'll
Oh.
put a screen by his back door, and we'll all just sit outside. That's
Mm-hmm.
fine.
that
It'll be
works.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
be good. It
Uh,
really isn't that long. It's wild how abbreviated the
Midgar.
actual remake is in old
Yeah.
Final Fantasy. It's shocking.
Uh, I do have a random TV update. I told Jason
Okay.
about this. But I would like to do 90 seconds of wrestling update.
You're okay. Clock started.
Clock. Okay.
Go ahead.
Shit. Okay. All right. So randomly, so with all the stuff that's been going on, Roman Reigns with his cancer stuff has not been on. I know he's setting a timer for 90 seconds. Roman Reigns has not been on WWE TV since the pandemic stuff started. And all of a sudden they had SummerSlam with in the Thunderdome, which is just basically they put giant TV screens up where the fans would be in the Orlando Amway Center, and they've allowed people to Zoom call into them. Well, of course, you've got people who are dressing up as Klansmen and everything else because wrestling people can't be good people. Anyway, so they decided to have SummerSlam there, and then Roman Reigns comes in at the very end of it, beats people up, da 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 da, no big deal. And then the next week on SmackDown, they have him come on and they're like, okay, you're gonna go, you're gonna fight the Fiend and Braun Strowman for the title, and he goes, well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna, he's like, I'm gonna win, and that's a guarantee. Or he goes, oh, and spoiler alert or something or whatever. I can't remember what his catchphrase is, but either way, Roman Reigns is now a Paul Heyman guy. They turned Roman Reigns heel and made him a Paul Heyman guy.
Tisk tisk. You don't do that. Paul Heyman deserves better.
Very true. So essentially, they did a double turn. They made Roman Reigns a heel and made the Fiend a face. And they're also teasing that Alexa Bliss is now going to join the Fiend and become like this weird alter ego kind of person like him, and she's also going to be Sister Abigail. I don't know.
You know, in an alternate timeline where I had unlimited time, I think I would probably watch AEW. But even if I had unlimited time, I still don't think I'd watch WWE.
So that's I've had a hard time sleeping this last week, so I got caught
Oh,
up on a
okay.
lot of things,
There you go. Yep.
thinking that I would fall asleep. Well, I can fall asleep to Raw just like that because that show is trash. But SmackDown, I've at least been like, hey, they're not doing too bad of stuff over there. Um, so there's at least some interesting stuff going on. Now, keep in mind that I still fast forward through a lot of it. Uh, but at least I'll kind of be like, oh, hey, what are they doing with this? Oh, is this interesting? No, okay, and then I'll go on from there. Uh, but yeah, AW good, still good. They had a big event over the weekend. I did not pay $60 to watch that pay per view because that's a business model that should not make sense these days. Uh, but there's always clips online afterwards, and that looked entertaining. I'll give it that. They've got a lot of, if anything, they have a problem now where they have done a good enough job of building up the characters in that show that they have a lot of good main event talent that they don't know what to do with because there's too many of them. That would be the issue. Like they have got a lot of talent, and not everybody can have a belt and not everybody can be around. They actually ended up writing Cody Rhodes off the show because they openly were just like, we can't have you be here every week because you are essentially he is the show. I mean, and so they've built up everybody else now to the point where, yeah,
I
it's
don't
not
need him anymore.
they don't need him anymore, which is
That's a
surprisingly a
good thing.
good thing.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. Like they're just now getting to the point where Kenny Omega is now going to essentially go on a singles run. They've kept him away from singles. They've had him be in a tag team. So it's, yeah. it's a good show, solid work. And Chris Jericho even too is kind of at the point where I think he's probably done doing main event type work. He's actually been announcing a lot recently with everything going on, because they don't always, and he's entertaining, very entertaining as an announcer. They could probably stand to get rid of Jim Ross because he's still likes to throw out some of those like he still seems like he's working with Jerry Lawler talking about the women sometimes.
Mm. Yep.
I'm sorry.
Jason, do I hear an alarm
I
going
hear an
off
alarm
down
going
there?
off. I'll stop now. Okay. It was very faint. Sorry, I didn't hear that.
We're about 30 seconds over your wrestling talk, Logan.
Okay, sorry.
Thank you for your contributions to this podcast in this manner.
Okay. All right. There we go. I'm good.
What's the
Is AEW only an hour still weekly?
It's 2 hours.
Is
It's always been 2 hours.
Oh, it's 2.
It's always been 2. They were talking to the owner Tony Khan about doing 3. TNT, I guess, is asking them to do more time. It's doing well enough in the ratings that they want more time, and so they're trying to figure
that's a
out.
trap.
I know,
Trap.
right? Yeah. So yeah, I think they're trying to figure out what the best option is. They've talked about maybe doing like an hour show on like Saturdays or something, but that's about it. To maybe showcase some, the lower level talent type of stuff. But they do a show on YouTube called AEW Dark, and they throw all that stuff on there, and then they'll bring any highlights of it. They'll be like, oh well, yeah, this happened on Dark last week, and they'll show a 20-second clip to kind of move a story along.
See, that's what they need to do. They should just have like, if they're gonna add a second show, it should just be matches.
And that's what it is. That's what Dark
just
is.
Like, just throw out. You got 2 people that you want to develop, but they need practice in the ring. Like, put them in the ring together. No story around it. People will eat that up. But for the people like, well, I guess I'm not a good example because I don't watch it anyway. But for me, it'd be like something that I knew I could skip because there's not going to be story to it.
I've never watched an episode of Dark before. I know it's on YouTube, but I've never watched a single episode.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they're 30 minutes or an hour long or whatever it is they are. I just know that, hey, they'll be like, oh, well, this person did this on Dark last week, and it'll cut to a clip of that, and then now they're in the ring and they're fighting so and so. Like, okay, sure, whatever.
It always amazes me when you talk to somebody that likes wrestling for the wrestling.
Yeah. Like yeah. I mean, I can appreciate the talent that goes into it, but
yeah,
there's a lot of times
and all that. There's good stuff.
There's a lot of time that if I can tell that anymore, because the classic thing now with wrestling is, okay, you're going to start the match and then you're going to go to a commercial break and then you're going to come back and finish it. I watch the start of the match for like about 30 seconds, and then I fast forward up until probably what appears to be the last minute of said match. Yep. Because I just don't have time for that. Unless I just want to fall asleep, and then I'll leave it on.
Jason, how's that game going on behind you?
Yeah,
what's happening back there?
It is 78-70 Denver in the lead.
Oh, okay. Might have to turn that on when we're done here.
We're gonna need Nikola Jokic to continue to do well in the captain's chair, and we could be looking at some cash tonight.
All right.
I saw some surprising contributions. Jermichael Green had a good line. So he's been in the game more. He played a way more 2 days ago. And it looks like Doc is going to give him minutes over not Zubats, but Harrell. Looks like Jermichael Green is getting Harrell's minutes, or getting a big chunk of Harrell's minutes in reserve. And Pat Beverly is still playing like dog stuff, even though he's starting and getting good minutes. So yeah, it looked like Jeremy Grant scored 1 point in the first half, and Michael Porter Jr. was going off. So I think Michael Porter Jr. Has been playing well tonight, and I think Grant has been removed from the floor maybe foul trouble or something. I mean,
Mm.
because he's guarding Kawhi and Paul George, so I could see easily Grant. Grant has been getting a ton of minutes for defensive reasons, but if he was in foul trouble, then they have to bring in Porter. But the good thing about Porter is that he rebounds well and he elevates well and he shoots well. So uh, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Jamal Murray wasn't having a very good game, from what I saw. I think it's been Michael Porter Jr. and Joker are the ones doing it.
Interesting.
Yeah, Joker apparently got hurt. Um, his right hand had him questionable today, but everybody thought he was going to play, and here he is playing. And he doesn't have any tape on it or anything, so it must not be that bad.
He's a European. He's tough.
Yeah, they're not soft.
Have you
I
guys
don't
seen
buy into that.
Have you guys seen the pictures of the Eastern European players? They formed like their own little community inside the bubble.
Oh yes, yeah. The one where they're at dinner is my favorite.
Yeah,
Have you seen
yeah.
that?
And it's just
Vucevic,
all
Boban,
yeah.
Luca. There was a player. I think it was before the net. I think it was Crooks from the Nets, but there was one guy in one of those pictures I couldn't figure out who it was.
Yeah,
So,
it was the picture was a little bit older before those guys got to go home, but
the funny thing I love about that picture is Luca is really rocking a dad look. Like his shorts are way high and his socks are way high and his kicks are all white. Like pure white.
I think that's actually technically the style now.
No, he's a 50-year-old man in a 20-year-old man's body. Like even
good
the way
for him because he'll play that long.
Exactly.
Good for him. That dude is he can play the basketball. He can play the basketball. All right, guys. Anything else? I think we've talked for what, Caleb? What's our time at? Any idea? Logan,
Longer
any
than
idea?
usual.
That's a Logan question.
I don't know, probably an hour and 20 minutes. I can tell you afterwards.
We always think we don't have enough to talk about, and then we end up doing that.
Right.
But that's fine.
Yeah. Let's do an hour-ish every week. Let's do it.
All right. Well, this has been the Master of Unlocking podcast for whatever day this is, September Labor
7th.
Day. There.
Labor Day.
Labor Day. All
Happy
right.
Labor Day, everyone.
Yes. Enjoy your labor, the fruit of your labors. I don't even know what that means. All right.
Let's talk again next week about the games that we play. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Good idea.
Later.